teaming up with Court in the kitchen today. She's got an incredible stone fruit dessert that we're going to be working on. We were just discussing it's such a small window in the year, so you need to take advantage when they're in season.
That's right. Peaches, going to make the most of them today.
I'm loving the look of this setup here. No tart shells, no mucking around having to trim and cut and paste.
It's freeform, just flat.
Love it.
So Matt, we've got some all butter puff pastry here. It's actually a spelt pastry. You can use any pastry you like, but that's why we've got them little bits of wholemeal in there, just a little bit healthier. Now Matt, we're going to actually just bake this as it is.
With a weight?
With a weight, yeah. So this is the base for our peaches.
So you're going to let the puff pastry do its thing, weigh it down in the middle, let the edges rise, and then that becomes your, in essence, your tart shell.
If you start roasting it with things on it already, you risk it going soggy or... This is just, we're just going to blind bake it. So I've got some non-stick baking paper. You just want a weight that's going to give you a bit of a border. So we want the outside to rise up, and we've got a little bed in beneath that we can put our roasted peaches and our cream cheese into. So the peaches and the pastry can go in together. Let's get them prepped together.
Okay,
so Matt, we've got about 8 summer peaches here. Delicious at the moment. You can use any stone fruit, obviously, that you like. Nectarines would be good. Plums would be delicious.
It's like, and I think I've spoken about this before, with figs. There's that pocket when they're available. You need to get on it. You need to have these dishes in your armoury ready to go to take full advantage when they're in season. So this is perfect, and we are certainly seizing the moment when it comes to the stone fruit period.
This is some honey, and I've got some vanilla bean here. So this is just going to encourage a little bit of caramelisation.
I'm so happy that you've got this.
Some cardamom.
Peaches with vanilla and cardamom and a little bit of honey.
It's look, something a little bit exotic. From, do you know what, growing up, my dad, he would have peach sandwiches, I'm not kidding you, fresh white bread with lots of butter, a fresh peach sliced on it with some sugar sprinkled on it. If you've never tried that, it is delicious, but basically...
I've had it with banana. Like, I've had a banana sandwich with raw sugar
My dad did it with peaches. This is basically a zhuzhed up version of my dad's peach sandwich that we had growing up. So vanilla... No, the cardamon's actually gonna... Matt's he's always...
I love it. I love it. It's one of my favourite spices. Absolutely love it.
Of course, you could put it on there. We're going to make a little praline with some pistachios. So I like the pistachios and the cardamom together. Okay. If you wanted to put it on there, you could. Hey. When it's your tart, Matt, you can
I will do
whatever. So, Matt, oven's at 180 degrees. Pastry's going to need about 30 minutes. I reckon the peaches, 15 to 20. We just want them nice and fragrant and a little bit kind of wrinkled and bring out their sweetness and their fragrance. So, in we go to the oven.
It already smells good.
It already smells good, I know.
Right.
Peaches on the bottom.
Okay, praline.
Yes, so while they're away in the oven, I will admit I've had problems with this in the past.
I think everyone's had problems with it.
Even, you know, it's one of those things. Praline is basically, Matt, we're going to make a caramel. I find for me the fail-safe way is to actually use a bit of liquid. I know some people do a dry caramel just with sugar. I use a little bit of water. Okay. So we're just going to go pan on. Here? Yep, they can both go in there. So we're just making something crunchy for the top of our tart. So this is going to go like a toffee and set, and we're going to put our cardamom and pistachios through it. So something a little bit exotic and something a little bit crunchy for the top of the tart.
So I've just poured that water over the top, and that's kind of spread it out so it's a nice even consistency.
Yeah, I think where I've gone wrong in the past is if you start stirring it and bring it up to the boil before the sugar's dissolved, it will start to crystallise. So that's my number one tip, is to try and get the sugar dissolved.
I think the first thing you'll start to see is the colouring around the edges. And whether you're stirring or swirling, it's about maintaining that little bit of movement to get that nice even colour until you get to that point that you want.
We want a golden caramel
like
colour.
Amber.
We're both going to stand here and pot watch for a little minute while that happens.
How's that colour? You want to go a little bit darker?
A tiny bit darker. I don't mind a tiny bit of bitterness, but we don't want to actually get it to burn stage. So look at that.
Critical stages here.
It's critical stages. A dash.
You're going to go in a little bit of cardamom?
A little bit of cardamom, like 1/4 of a teaspoon. It's like almost a kind of eucalyptus-y smell we were just discussing.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's very overpowering though. Pistachios go in, and that's it. 3 ingredients. Yep. 3 ingredients: sugar, cardamom, pistachios.
Let me just lay that out.
You got to. This is where moving quick comes in handy. Matt's a champion at that. And that's basically, it will start to set pretty soon. It's already setting.
It's already started.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So Matt, that will set, and we're just going to crunch that up. That's something a little bit kind of crunchy, and just something textural
pistachios and peaches and cardamom and vanilla.
Marriage made in heaven, I know. So we're just going to let that set. Now all we need to do is just wait for the peaches, wait for the pastry.
Done.
And we get to eat some tart.
All right, everything's set, ready to go.
Oh, smells good.
Pastry looks sensational.
Pastry and peaches.
Good, no tart shells, no nothing.
No, it's very...
I love it. As someone that doesn't or wouldn't class themselves as an avid baker, this is really nice and straightforward.
Yeah, and
really
as I said, we're going sweet today. If you wanted to do this savoury, this is where you could go savoury. You could put smoked salmon and asparagus, artichokes, any of your deli favourites, whatever you want. Today it is peaches.
I like it.
So Matt, we've got crispy pastry, and you can see there that weight.
How's the even colour?
I know.
It's perfect.
That weight has done its job. We wanted a thin kind of vessel to fill in the middle here. So something creamy.
Cream cheese.
But
on
we
the base.
don't want, I think if you were to use yogurt or something, the pastry would...
It's too wet.
It's too wet.
Yeah.
This is perfect. Spreadable cream cheese gives us...
a little bit of acidity.
Exactly.
So a nice layer of that, and that's almost going to protect the pastry from all of that,
from
that
the
beautiful
peaches.
juice out of the peaches.
Exactly. We're big on bring a plate in Australia, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come to a barbecue.
Share the workload.
Come into a picnic. What are you going to bring? You can bring all of this not assembled and just get there. Put on a little theatre for your friends.
Show them how it's
down
done.
at the park.
Everyone's there with their elaborate salads and pastries that they put so much effort into.
Exactly. So
this is straightforward.
You can do this in front of your friends. As I said, roasting peaches is great.
Something seasonal.
Just
that's what we're talking about. Take advantage of those pockets and those small windows that you have when things are.
Exactly.
You know, they're affordable because they're in abundance and they're at their best. So that's when you want to be using them.
Exactly. All right.
So I've just gone to town here on the praline.
No, that's what we want.
Yeah.
You don't want a massive chunk of praline as you're biting through this. Look at the peaches, Matt. We've got some nice colour on them. So we'll get a small bit of bitterness, but some really nice kind of soft fruit. Just scatter this all over.
Love it.
Not bad.
That looks unreal.
Not bad numbers
Nice amount
there.
of peaches too, yeah.
Nice amount of peaches.
Solid.
Where's a little spot there? And don't forget, any of the juices collected. That spreadable cream cheese is going to protect the pastry from that going soggy.
That's like a mashup of vanilla, honey, peach syrup,
peach juice,
caramelisation.
We're good to go.
Praline.
Praline away, Matthew. That can go on. Slightly more impressive than my dad's peach sandwiches that we talked about.
Just a little bit.
There we go, Matt. It's only one thing to do now. It's just to tuck in.
Just going to pick that up.
See,
look at that.
I'm trying.
See how,
I'm going to go
look at that. Look at those fine layers that are perfect. It's like, it's not flopping, it's not sagging, it's holding its form.
Perfect. Down the park. What do you want? It's so good.